when someone amalgamates, we go through process, protocol, and procedure. Once they have been approved, they will bring forth their copper or their silver, the equivalent of so-called 750, so-called US or Euro, and copper coin or silver coin or bar, preferably coin, because you get another hand. But anyway, depending on where you assigned, you have to acquire particular uniforms. So we will give you a grace period, if you would. You have to acquire the fez or a turban, and then their fez, but they eventually have to have a red fez, all men. They're hard to get in certain areas, so we understand that. If they're assigned to ICF or some other defense apparatus, they have to acquire their uniform. Most of the time, we're required they get that before they get their fez. They must have both, though, within a certain time frame. We explained that before to make it absolutely clear. And again, we make it very clear. You must report for training and duty on the schedule assigned. Once it's been assigned, we don't change it. And this is absolutely, positively necessary, which is almost never. Which is why we ask you in the front end what your schedule is like, what your faith schedule is like. Again, we're not going to assign you if you have to be at the masjid, if you have to be at the synagogue or temple, if you have to be at the mosque, whatever is the place where you convene for your spiritual path. We're not going to disrupt that. We're not going to dishonor that. We will protect that. So you must meet us halfway and respect that we respected your faith by making sure that you show up when you're supposed to, on time and prepared. We make it very clear to our folks. Beer, wine coolers, wine. We have no issue with that in moderation. Hard liquor, on the other hand, most certainly is contraband within the Amexem-Moor-Empire. Cannabis is not unlawful within the Amexem-Moor-Empire. Acquisition of it, in particular specific amounts, is regulated. You may grow it with proper consent from the Department of Agriculture and from Health and Phytotherapy Therapy. Having it in liquid form, tea form, oil form, and edible form is not unlawful. Smoking it, you have a problem with us, because we have a very serious problem with you. And if you are going to take it in edible form, you are not allowed to take it within 48 standard earth hours of you reporting for training or for duty. It's definitely not for duty. Being drunk or impaired while on duty is treason. If you're impaired, then you cannot perform to your very best in the service of all of us. When you're off duty, we have to have your back. When we're off duty and you're on duty, you have to have our back. And we cannot trust you to have our back when you are impaired or drunk. Impaired meaning high or drunk or both. And if you're that selfish, you don't need to be here. We don't want you here. And you won't be here. Some common sense, some decency, and some discipline. That's not merely an option here. It's an absolute requirement. And we won't have it any other way. So, reporting for training, reporting for duty. If you are not on duty, if you're not at training, then you're in your private capacity. So we're not in your face. I don't want to know where you bought your batteries. I don't want to know what park you go to. It's not my business. I'm here to protect your right to it. So when you're off duty, unless you breached our Constitution, I'm not in your face, and neither are my officials. We don't go out our way looking for trouble by getting in your neck. Just don't do stupid. My offspring out there spraying graffiti on stuff. Really? We're not going to arrest your offspring. We're going to arrest you. And when you have paid to remove the graffiti and the fines, you'll be released. Meaning the family has to pay for it. Because you're not going anywhere. get your offspring in line, or we get you in line. This is not a democracy. The Amexem-Moor-Empire is a constitutional monarchy. And you're going to pretend you got some sense up in here. Even if you don't, you better pretend that you do. That's us in a nutshell. Keep it simple, we keep it tight.